Today, we're going to be talking about things that you can do to make your ad campaign fail. The reason why we're going to talk about what you can do to make it fail is so that you can reverse engineer it and do the complete opposite and actually do the things that will make you have a successful campaign. If you don't know how to run ads, you don't know where to get started, click the first link in the description. We can have a conversation. I can help you run a profitable ad campaign. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing you want to do, especially, primarily I'm talking about if you hire a marketing agency. First thing you want to do is not communicate. Okay. So even if you don't hire an agency, you got someone in-house that's running ads for you. Just make sure you don't communicate with people. Anytime I've ever had a campaign not go well, it has been because client communication has not been there. Whether that be from my end or from their end, I'm going to be completely honest. I've had times in the past, I've been in this business for a long time. There have been times where I didn't communicate effectively with my clients. And so I've actually chosen to go out of my way now to actually communicate even more with my clients than I have been in previous years, because I've realized the guys that I communicate with are the ones that become successful. And on the other end of the spectrum, it is important, as you are as a client, to communicate with the advertising agency you're working with. Okay. You have to let them know how the leads are. You have to let them know how things are going. Okay. So you need to make sure that you are communicating and getting everything done efficiently in a timely manner, or else your ad campaign is not going to work. Another way that you can, I kind of already mentioned it, but another way that you can make sure your ad campaign fails is by not doing things quickly, by not moving fast enough. So this is, say it's time to get the creatives ready. You take 2 weeks to get the creatives ready. Obviously, regardless of time, it can still be successful, but you have to make sure that you're getting things done in a timely manner. Because from my experience, if I set a goal to do something by the end of the week, I'm probably not going to get that shit done, or I'm going to get it done, but I'm going to do it at the last second. And it's not going to be as good as it could have been had I just done it right then and there. All right. So I always take the time to, as soon as I have an idea to do something, if I have nothing going on for the next hour that is more important than that thing, I'm going to work on that thing until I get it completed. So same thing goes with the advertising campaign. The next thing that you want to do if you want to make sure that your ad campaign fails is not have any follow-up sequence or system for your leads to go to, so you can actually close them, right? So yeah, some people are going to come in, they're going to be a little bit more hot than others. Some people are going to come into your ad funnel and they're going to say, you know what, I really want to get this right now. And they're going to go out of their way to make sure it happens. But there's going to be other people who don't do that. There are going to be people who come through your campaign because they're interested, and then they don't talk to you for a couple weeks, or they don't remember. They fill out the form and then they move on with their life. You have to have something to follow up with the leads with. So make sure you have some form of CRM in the background, some form of automation that when the leads come in, they get follow-up texts, calls, emails, and they get sent your appointment link or your calendar link so they can actually schedule appointments with you. I do this when I added the calendar to my clients' ad accounts. I saw a significant increase in booked appointments. So I decided to add calendars into my clients' ads probably, 2-3 years ago. And I've seen a significant increase in booked appointments since I have done that. Okay. If you don't have a calendar, then the people that want to book right there aren't going to book, and they might just forget about it. Okay. You have to give them a place to book appointments. And then if they're not ready to buy, they have to get added to some form of sequence, whether it's an email nurture sequence or a newsletter or even retargeted through your ads. There has to be something there to help you follow up with the leads, right? And so that's why it's important to have a CRM in place. That's why it's important to have a good CRM in place. It's important that you have somebody on your team who understands what kind of build out you need for your CRM and is actively updating and making that CRM better and making your email newsletters and your SMS campaigns better so that your clients are constantly getting fed the right stuff so that they're more likely to buy. With my service, I also help you set up a CRM. I've been building CRMs for about 5 years now. I know the CRM platform I use like the back of my hand. Again, if you need help with any of this stuff, click the first link in the description. Next thing you want to do to make sure your ad campaigns fails is not spend enough. All right, this is the number one problem that I see a lot of businesses have, is that they don't spend enough money on ads. Right. This is even worse when you sign up with an agency, because an agency will just try to get you on the hook. Right. They'll try to say, okay, well, whatever it takes to get the retainer. Right. So if they tell you to spend $30 a day, you're spending $900 a day on ads. You're not spending the right amount of money that you need to be spending, right? You're not competing in the market properly. right? You're like half-assing it. Okay. I always tell people never dip your toe in advertising. Just don't do it. Like, don't dip your toe in. You have to go all in or don't do it at all. Okay. And be prepared. Like, there will be times where you run a campaign, it doesn't work out too well. Sometimes you run a campaign and it works out very well right off the rip, right? As an agency's job is to make sure you are investing your money correctly into the marketplace. Okay, let me say that one more time so everyone's on the same page. An agency's job is to help you invest your money correctly into the marketplace. All right. Your agency's job is not to help you run ads. It is not to build out some CRM or do some AI automation crap. It is to help you invest your money properly into the market. And if they are not helping you invest your money properly into the market, then you are wasting your time and you're not going to get the results. Right. And so, like I said, if you want to have a bad ad campaign, don't spend a lot of money, right? An agency, like I said before, some agencies just try to get retainers. They just try to get you started, whatever it takes. And they're like, oh yeah, you can spend $30, $40 a day. Let me help you. Let me let you in on a little secret. If you're trying to sell like a $50,000 to $100,000 project and you're spending $900 a month on ads or $500 a month on ads, you are going to get destroyed by your competition. All right. Billions of dollars are getting thrown into advertising every single year. You have to compete in that market. All right. And in your town, there is a market. All right. And there's a certain amount of ad dollars that are getting spent in your town or in your local area every single day. All right. And so you have to figure out, how can I make sure my face goes on the screen? By spending more. This also gives you the opportunity to test more stuff as well. When you are testing more things, you can find out what works faster, right? Right now, I'm spending $300 a day on ads. When I'm spending $300 a day on ads, I can test a lot quicker and make a lot faster of pivots and motions inside of the ad account, because I know personally, okay, this is what's working, this is what's not working, versus it takes me an entire day just to spend $50 on one creative, right? You want to know what's working. Okay, when you have a small budget, it takes longer to figure that out. And if you're working with an agency and they're just pulling that retainer every single month, you're losing money and the agency doesn't give a fuck. This is why I don't hire people that don't want to spend at least $100 a day on ads. The next thing that you can do to absolutely ensure that your ad campaign fails is not testing enough. Not testing enough is a great way to ensure that your campaign fails. Just have like one or two static ads and you put those up, and absolutely 100% your campaign will not work as well as if you were testing more things. And the reason why is because you don't know what your market likes. Okay. Even I don't know what your market likes. All right. I have an idea. Like, I've run ads for other businesses, probably just like yours. Like if you're a remodeler or you do roofs or you do like any home service business, right? I've run in a lot of home service niches. I have run ads for them. And I will tell you that I don't know what's going to work in your market. I have an idea. I've tried a bunch of stuff in other markets. I've tried some offers that have worked well for other people. We're going to try the same things when we work together. But if you're running an ad and you you're only testing like one thing, I can't figure out what works quicker, right? What worked for someone else might not work for you. Okay. There is a lot of similarities, but you're still going to have to test over and over and over again until you figure it out. And so this is why I say, once again, you spend more money, because when you spend more money, you can test a lot more things. But yeah, like when you run two ad creatives, you're saying, Facebook, these are the best two ad creatives I have. Here you go. Like, does this work? Right? When you're running 15 to 20 different ad creatives, you're saying, I don't know which one's going to work, but you figure it out. And Facebook's algorithm is pretty good, so it'll figure it out for you. Okay. And so this helps you learn a lot quicker. And if you think that that's a crazy number, or any of this stuff that I'm talking about is absolutely insane, I need you to understand that there are creative agencies that are testing 200 to 300 new ad creatives every single month. There are e-com stores, specifically I see direct-to-consumer brands that I know personally who are spending $20,000 to $30,000 a day on advertising. All right, and they're not even big brands. Like, they're not traded like on the S&P 500 or like in any market. They're like private companies, and they're spending that much money every single day. Like, if you're scared to spend $100 a day on ads, like you are, you're either not ready to run ads, like you just don't have the money to do it, or it's like some like form of fear that you have, like past tense, whether you've worked with an agency before or you just like some like it's some belief about money that maybe like might be preventing you from making a change. Like you have to spend money on ads. You can't not spend money on ads. You know, we're in a digital age. People are buying online and people are going to keep spending money on ads. And the longer that you take to get started, the more money it's going to take for you to get started. Like the more money it's going to take for you to actually be able to compete. You know, I mean, even shit 2, 3 years ago, I would have said, yeah, spend $50 a day. It's not the end of the world. Now I'm like, you can't do that anymore. In fact, I'm starting to think $100 a day is too little personally. All right. Um, let's see. Is there any other reasons to make your campaign fail? I'm just kind of like riffing, just off the top. Um, oh my gosh. Do not call your leads. Seriously, don't have conversations with any of your leads. Or if you do, make sure you wait a long time to call them. Okay. When you have a lead come in, you should call that lead within the first 5 minutes. Non-negotiable. Like, I don't care what you're doing. You need to have your phone on full blast or at least have that one stream wherever the leads are coming through. Like, go through all of your D&D. You should call those leads as soon as they come in. I'll tell you this, sometimes I've had leads come in at 1:00 in the morning. And if I happen to just like be up still and see it, I will pick up the phone and call that person right there. They're awake. Clearly, they just filled out the form. All right. Call people when the lead comes in. Not calling the lead when they come in is basically the equivalent of walking into a restaurant and then sitting down at a table and not getting served as soon as you walk in. It is like one of the most annoying things that can happen in a restaurant, like when you don't get greeted. All right, that actually happened to me a couple weeks ago. I was so pissed off, I almost left. All right, and it had only been like 10 minutes. Okay, greet your clients, have conversations with them. Now, if you can't get to the phone directly on time, because obviously like things are going to happen, that is why you need to have text automations in place so that as soon as the customer fills out the form, they get sent a text message saying, "Hey, you filled out this thing. What are we doing?" Right? Because if you're not doing that, at least if they're not getting some touch point from you, they're like, "I don't know what to do," and they fuck off. So, yeah. That's all my examples. So obviously you don't want your campaign to fail. You want your campaign to succeed. So just don't do or do the opposite of everything I just talked about. Call your leads, spend more money on ads, spend all your money on ads. I personally I'm at a point in my business right now where like I pretty much don't eat and I don't go out and I don't do anything. I just spend all my money on ads. Like every single dollar. Like I need you to understand all of my money I'm spending on ads. All right. And I've seen it pay off time and time again. And at some point, I will get to a point where it's like, all right, I don't have to spend money on this anymore, or at least as much money because I'm making my money back, right? If you're making $1 million a year, you're trying to get to $3 million a year. Why can you not spend $100,000 on ads? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's 10%. You should be spending 10%. It's tax free. Like, you get to write it off on your taxes. I don't know why you wouldn't be spending as much money as possible. It's literally free money. I don't know why you wouldn't be spending as much money as possible on it. So yeah, if you want to have a successful campaign, you need to test a lot of stuff. You need to communicate with your agency or whoever's running your ads. You need to, have more ad creatives that you're testing. You need to spend more money on ads. You need to call your leads immediately. You need to have some way to follow up and have conversations with your leads. And if that's something that you want, if you want all of that, I literally help people just like you in the home service industry do the exact same thing. Most of my guys have a 5 to 10x return on their ad spend, which means every single dollar that they spend, they are making $5 to $10 in return on their ads. It is fucking nuts. There's nothing else in your business that makes a 5 to 10x return. Right? If that's something that you want, if you're looking to get extra jobs and you're serious about getting this started and you want an agency who's going to communicate with you and help you out, click the first link in the description. If not, if you're looking for another agency, hope it all works out for you and have a good day. Be safe.